Doctors often tell us to take evening walks or hit 10,000 steps daily to build muscle and combat sarcopenia. But here's the kicker. Those walks alone won't actually build much muscle if you're not doing two specific exercises I'm about to share. Let me explain why. As we get older, daily walking just isn't as effective for muscle building as it once was, and that's likely why all your efforts haven't yielded the results you hoped for. You see a lot of nutrition experts on social media these days dishing out advice on what to eat to build muscle. While that advice might seem harmless, it won't actually beat sarcopenia or add any real muscle if you don't incorporate targeted exercises into your routine. This is where it gets a bit tricky for many seniors. A common and terrible mistake is to either lift weights that are too heavy or to rely solely on walking. This exposes you to injuries that can be incredibly serious, potentially landing you in the hospital for weeks, or even worse, permanently in a wheelchair. That's precisely why in this video I'm going to introduce you to two incredibly simple home exercises. They don't require any gym equipment, no resistance bands, nothing at all. Yet they are remarkably effective for building muscle. In fact, EMG studies show they can activate up to 90% of your muscles during the workout. I'll start with what I consider the second best exercise because it's the easiest and only requires a wall. Then I'll reveal the single most effective exercise, one that has personally helped thousands of my patients. And there's more. I'll also expose three exercises you might be doing right now that are actually detrimental, especially if your goal is to build muscle and reverse age-related muscle loss. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's dive in. First up, wall push-ups. Let's really talk about these. When you go for a walk, you're certainly using about 200 muscles, but here's the catch. You're only activating them at a mere 20 to 30% of their full capacity. There's no real resistance, no significant challenge. Wall push-ups, however, engage your chest, shoulders, triceps, and core muscles at a powerful 60 to 70% capacity. That's triple the muscle engagement. For seniors battling sarcopenia, this difference is absolutely everything. Why? Because your muscles don't grow from gentle movements like walking. They grow from being challenged, from being forced to adapt to genuine resistance. Here's what's actually happening when you do a wall push-up. You're creating tiny microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. I know that sounds concerning, but it's actually exactly what we want. During recovery, those fibers don't just mend, they expand, they thicken, and they come back stronger than before. This is the fundamental way muscle is built, regardless of your age, even at 90. Now, here's a truly shocking fact most seniors don't realize about wall push-ups. They trigger a process called mechanotransduction. This is where your muscle cells literally sense the mechanical stress from the push-up and send signals to your DNA to produce more protein and more muscle tissue. In simpler terms, wall push-ups don't just work your muscles, they actively instruct your body to build more muscle. For seniors experiencing annual muscle mass loss, this is an absolute game changer. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed 150 adults aged 65 to 85 who performed wall push-ups 3 times a week for 12 weeks. The results were astounding, an average increase of 31% in upper body strength and a 2.3-pound gain in lean muscle mass. The researchers were genuinely stunned. Lead researcher Dr. Patricia Hammond commented, "We anticipated modest improvements, but what we observed was a complete reversal of age-related muscle decline." These participants didn't just slow down sarcopenia, they actively reversed it. And what's even more fascinating, the Hansa people of northern China, recognized as one of the world's longest living communities, stumbled upon push-ups entirely by accident centuries ago. While constructing stone walls for their terraced farms, workers would lean against these walls to rest between tasks. One day, a farmer noticed that repeatedly pushing away from the wall made his work easier and made him stronger. This simple motion became an integral part of their daily routine, passed down through generations. To this day, Hunza elders in their 80s and 90s still perform these wall exercises every morning, and they're renowned for their remarkable strength and youthful vitality well into old age. So here's the correct way to perform wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall, about an arm's length away. Place your palms flat against the wall at shoulder height, with your fingers pointing upward. Your feet should be firmly planted on the ground, hip width apart. Now, this is crucial. Keep your body in a straight line from your head to your heels. Don't let your hips sag or stick out. Slowly bend your elbows and lean your body toward the wall. Your elbows should point slightly downward, not straight out to the sides. Lower yourself until your nose almost touches the wall. Then, with control, push back until your arms are straight again. That's 1 repetition. Remember to breathe in as you lower yourself and breathe out as you push away. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. If that feels too easy, simply step further back from the wall to increase the challenge. If it's too difficult, step closer. Complete 3 sets with a 1-minute rest period between each set. For the best results, perform this exercise 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is a perfect schedule. This allows your muscles 48 hours to recover and grow between sessions. You should feel your muscles working, perhaps even a gentle burn. That's how you know it's truly effective. Now, as I hinted earlier, there are certain exercises you might be doing unknowingly that you absolutely should not be combining with wall push-ups or even doing at all, as they can be quite dangerous for you. I'll reveal those later in this video, but if you're thinking of relying only on wall push-ups to build muscle, I'm sorry to tell you, it won't work completely. That's because wall push-ups primarily target the muscles in your upper body. They alone cannot effectively grow your leg muscles, and strong leg muscles are incredibly important as you age. Your legs are what carry and support you through life. Without strong legs, you dramatically increase your risk of bad falls and accidents that could leave you bedridden. That's precisely why you absolutely must incorporate the next exercise for the most comprehensive muscle-building results. Let's move on to chair squats. When you walk, your legs are certainly moving, but they're primarily just bearing your body weight in a vertical position with minimal effort. Your quadriceps, those powerful muscles in your thighs, are likely working at only about 25% of their capacity. And your glutes, which happen to be the largest muscle group in your body, are barely engaged at all. This is precisely why chair squats are so vital for seniors. Chair squats completely change the game. They activate your quadriceps at a robust 75% capacity, your glutes at an impressive 80% capacity, and they also bring your hamstrings and calves into play. This exercise laser focuses on your lower body muscles, the very muscles that determine whether you can confidently stand up from a toilet, climb stairs without assistance, or maintain your independence. For seniors battling sarcopenia, leg strength isn't just about mobility. It's about dignity. It's about not needing someone to help you out of a chair. It's about preventing the falls that send thousands of older adults to hospitals every single day. Here's something truly shocking most seniors don't realize about chair squats. They trigger a massive release of growth hormone and testosterone. Yes, even in older adults. These are the same hormones that built your muscles when you were younger, and chair squats prompt your body to produce these hormones again. Because this exercise utilizes such large muscle groups, your body responds by flooding your system with these crucial muscle-building hormones. A remarkable study from the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health tracked 200 adults aged 70 to 92 who performed chair squats 4 times weekly for 16 weeks. The findings were extraordinary. Participants gained an average of 3.7 pounds of lean leg muscle and improved their sit-to-stand time by 43%. Balance scores increased by 38%, and fall risk dropped by half. Dr. Chen Wei, the study's principal investigator, stated that they were astonished. Many participants who began the study using walkers were walking unassisted by week 10. There's also an ancient village in the Bama region of southern China, another blue zone where people regularly live past 100. Legend has it that centuries ago, during a severe flood, villagers had to repeatedly lower themselves onto elevated platforms to escape rising waters, then stand back up as the waters receded. This constant sitting and standing motion continued for days. After the floods, the elders noticed something remarkable. Their legs felt stronger than they had in years, and the chronic knee pain many suffered had vanished. This movement became woven into their daily rituals. Even today, Bama centenarians perform what they call platform breathing, essentially chair squats, every morning and evening. Visit Bama and you'll witness 95-year-olds squatting down in their gardens, standing up with ease, their legs as strong as bamboo. Here's exactly how to perform chair squats. First, find a strong and stable chair, one that absolutely won't slide or tip. and position it directly behind you. Stand in front of the chair with your feet shoulder width apart, toes pointing slightly outward. Extend your arms straight out in front of you at shoulder height for balance. This is your starting position. Now imagine you're about to sit down, but you're moving in incredibly slow motion. Begin lowering yourself by pushing your hips back first, almost like you're reaching for the chair behind you. Allow your knees to bend naturally as you descend, but always keep them aligned with your toes. Never let them cave inward. Lower yourself until your bottom just barely touches the chair, the lightest possible touch. Don't simply collapse into it. The moment you feel contact, pause for half a second, then drive powerfully through your heels. Press your feet into the ground and stand back up, making sure to squeeze your glutes at the very top of the movement. Keep your chest lifted throughout the entire motion and your eyes looking straight ahead, not down at the floor. Your weight should remain primarily in your heels and midfoot, never shifting onto your toes. Complete 10 to 12 repetitions to start. If you need to actually sit down between repetitions initially, that is perfectly fine. Perform 3 sets with 90 seconds of rest between each set. For optimal muscle growth and strength gains, do this exercise 4 times per week. Spacing them out, perhaps Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, works well. The increased frequency compared to wall push-ups is intentional because your leg muscles generally recover faster and can handle more frequent training. However, I must emphasize this. These exercises will do absolutely no good for your muscle building goals if you're still doing the next 3 exercises I'm about to discuss. The last one is incredibly common, and I'm almost certain you've done it this past week. After working with thousands of seniors struggling with muscle loss, reviewing dozens of exercise studies, and consulting with leading experts in muscle preservation, I've pinpointed the 3 most dangerous exercises that seniors must avoid at all costs. Because while wall push-ups and chair squats are excellent for building strength, there are certain exercises that can completely undo their benefits and even put you at serious risk of injury. The number 1 exercise you should never ever include in your routine is sit-ups and crunches. Walk into any gym, scroll through any fitness page, and you'll see them everywhere. It's arguably the most recommended core exercise on the planet. In fact, a 2023 survey revealed that 67% of fitness trainers recommend sit-ups or crunches to seniors specifically for burning visceral fat and building core strength. But here's the truth, those gym bros aren't telling you. Yes, sit-ups do activate your abdominal muscles, but every single time you curl your spine forward, you're compressing it. For seniors, this is a disaster waiting to happen. That repetitive flexion puts immense strain on your lower back, cranks tension into your neck as you pull your head forward, and offers almost zero functional strength for the movements you actually need in daily life. When you injure your back or neck doing sit-ups, you can't exercise, and that injury becomes a direct pathway to accelerated muscle loss. According to data from the Global Burden of Disease study, approximately 23% of seniors worldwide who engage in unsupervised floor exercises like sit-ups and crunches experience back or neck injuries severe enough to halt their exercise routine for at least 6 weeks. Here's the critical mistake most seniors make. They think more is better. They'll do 50, even 100 sit-ups a day, genuinely believing that sheer volume equals results. What they don't realize is that their aging spine simply cannot handle that repetitive compression. Unlike younger people whose discs can absorb and recover from such stress, senior spines accumulate micro damage with each repetition. Let me tell you about Michaela. She came to me at 73, utterly frustrated and desperate. She had been doing 40 sit-ups every single morning for 8 months, religiously, because her doctor had mentioned she needed to strengthen her core. Her belly hadn't budged, but that wasn't the worst part. She developed severe lower back pain that radiated down her left leg. Some mornings, she couldn't even get out of bed without her husband's help. I stopped her sit-ups immediately. We switched to safer core exercises, ones that didn't compress her spine. Within 3 weeks, her back pain significantly diminished. Within 2 months, it was completely gone. She not only regained the muscle she'd lost, but also added more. The second exercise you should completely ignore is the behind-the-neck shoulder press. You'll find it in countless workout routines. It's been a staple exercise since the golden age of bodybuilding. But here's the truth they're not sharing with you. Yes, this movement activates your deltoids, your shoulder muscles. You'll definitely feel them working. However, the position itself, pressing weight from behind your head, forces your shoulder joint into an extreme external rotation. And frankly, it's excruciating. Even worse, this position completely bypasses the natural mechanics of how your shoulder was designed to move. For seniors whose shoulder joints have already experienced decades of wear, whose rotator cuff tendons have thinned and weakened, this exercise is nothing short of mechanical torture. And once you damage your rotator cuff, every single upper body movement becomes painful. You can't lift your arm to brush your hair, you can't reach into a cabinet, and you certainly can't do any exercises that build muscle effectively. That injury doesn't just hurt, it utterly steals your ability to get stronger. The statistics are alarming. International orthopedic data shows that roughly 31% of seniors who regularly perform behind the neck pressing movements develop shoulder pain or rotator cuff injuries within the first year. Many of these injuries require months of physical therapy, and some even necessitate surgical intervention. Let me tell you about Rob. He walked into my office at 68, his right arm hanging limply at his side. He'd been going to a local gym for a year, working with a trainer half his age who had him doing behind the neck presses with 15-pound dumbbells 3 times a week. Robert mentioned shoulder discomfort after the first month, but his trainer told him it was normal, just his shoulders getting used to the work. So Robert kept going. By month 6, he couldn't sleep on his right side. By month 9, he couldn't even lift his arm above his chest. When I examined him, his rotator cuff was torn, inflamed, and barely functional. We had to halt all upper body training for 3 months. 3 months of his shoulders healing while the rest of his upper body atrophied. He endured intensive physical therapy and eventually learned safer pressing movements like front presses with proper form. It took 8 months before he could train his shoulders again without pain. Today at 71, Robert has finally regained the strength he had before he started those behind the neck presses, but he lost nearly 2 years of potential progress. 2 years he'll never get back. The final exercise you should completely avoid is deep knee extensions using the leg extension machine. It's a ubiquitous exercise in every commercial gym, the one machine that looks so simple and safe. But here's what nobody's explaining. Yes, your quadriceps muscles certainly fire during this movement when you extend your leg against resistance in that seated position. However, you're simultaneously creating immense shearing force across your knee joint. And here's the cruel irony. Once your knees are damaged, you can't effectively do any lower body exercise. Here's what most seniors don't know. The leg extension machine was originally designed for the rehabilitation of specific knee injuries, strictly under supervised physical therapy. It was never intended for general strength training, nor was it meant to be used with heavy weight or high repetitions by individuals with aging joints. Yet gym staff rarely explain this crucial detail. If you are truly serious about building muscles and avoiding injury, you must avoid these 3 exercises. Which of these exercises have you been doing? And are you now going to start practicing the 2 exercises I just revealed to help you build muscle effectively? Now, to bring it all together, here's the absolute truth about muscle building. Exercise alone will not build muscles for you. Muscle building is actually 80% what you eat and 20% the exercises you do. You can do perfect wall push-ups and flawless chair squats every single day, but if you're not feeding your muscles the protein they desperately need to repair and grow, you're frankly wasting your time, which is exactly why I've prepared something very special for you. I've created a complete high-protein meal plan specifically designed for seniors who are building muscle and fighting sarcopenia. This isn't just some generic diet plan. These are 93-plus delicious, easy-to-prepare, high-protein recipes that are scientifically proven to fuel muscle growth at any age. Every single recipe is meticulously calculated to give you exactly what your muscles require to recover and expand after exercise. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, all optimized for muscle building. If you are truly serious about beating sarcopenia and reclaiming your strength, you absolutely need this meal plan. Click the link in the pinned comment below or check the description box right now to get instant access to all 93-plus recipes. And here's something else. Tomorrow, I'm dropping a video that reveals the #1 supplement that 90% of seniors are deficient in, a deficiency that is secretly preventing your muscles from growing no matter how much you exercise or how much protein you eat. This information could genuinely change everything for you. But here's the thing. Only my subscribers will get notified the moment that video goes live. If you're not subscribed, you'll miss it. So hit that subscribe button right now. Tap the notification bell and make sure you're ready for tomorrow. Don't let this crucial opportunity slip away. Now go do those 2 exercises. Fuel your body right and watch your strength come back. I'll see you tomorrow. Senior Food Blog.